Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Further Beyond Gaming. My name is Cody GT, and in today's video we are going to continue the series of picking out 3 weapons in each category that I would love to see pre-armed in the near future. And in today's series we're going to take a look at the pistol category. So I do hope you enjoy the video, I hope you like what you see. If you do, go ahead and consider subscribing for more content like this. Now, like I mentioned, we are taking a look at the pistols, and I'm going to go ahead and pick out 3 that I would love to see pre-armed or that I think deserve to get pre-armed. Now, the 3 that I choose may be slightly controversial, or you may have 3 different ones that you had in mind, or just different ones in general than what I picked. So in the comments down below, I'd love to see your guys' choices every single time, and they're always very interesting. So let me know what 3 pistols you would choose to get pre-armed here in the near future. Now, the very first one that I'm going to go ahead and go with is the Thunder Kakaako. I absolutely love the look of this weapon. I simply am holding on to this weapon because of the look of it. The character design. The design of the weapon is absolutely phenomenal. I love the way it looks, so I just hold on to it because of that reason. Now, as far as the weapon skill and the passive skill, not bad, but I think it can be better. I don't have a whole lot that I would change. There's just one additional aspect to this weapon that I would love to see implemented or integrated into this weapon that I think would just be very cool. And that is, if you hit the weapon skill when the Thunder Kakaako is pre-armed, that it sends out like an EMP explosion, AoE, lightning damage, elemental damage explosion, and just hits every enemy that's on the screen, does X amount of lightning elemental damage, and then makes them conductive for a certain amount of time. In my opinion, I think that would just make the Thunder Kakaako weapon so phenomenal. And then after you hit the EMP, it gives an elemental buff to everyone on the team by a certain percentage as well. And it's just an all elemental buff, not, you know, a specific fire or ice or lightning, just an elemental buff in general. Man, I think that would be such a great weapon skill and such a great skill in general that makes the Thunder Kakaako a weapon you would definitely want to use because of that AoE damage, and then as well as being able to support the team. I think that would be fantastic. That's the only thing that I would actually really do and change on this weapon. All the skills can remain the same. Everything else can still be there. I would just have it to where if you hit the weapon skill, maybe the second time, so for the first time it can do what you see here, the Will-O the Wisp, and then when you hit the weapon skill again, it does the EMP explosion. Maybe with it being a little overpowered like that, you can make the SP cost be something, you know, kind of ridiculous, like 150 or 125, you know, something that it would take a lot of resources to pull off, but it would really be beneficial and you would definitely want to do it. As well as the design on the Thunder Kakaako could be incredible. Like, it could be lightning shooting out of it every single time, or just continuously while you have it in your hands. There's just lightning emanating from it. That's what I meant to say. Emanating from the weapon. I think that would be amazing. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But the Thunder Kakaako, the first pistol, or one of the pistols that I would love to see pre-arm with that skill. Now, moving over to the second weapon that I would love to see pre-armed in the near future, and that is the one weapon that I cannot pronounce its name from the inception of this game, and that is the classic Mojnir. I know I still said that wrong. Anyways, this weapon is a fantastic weapon. Even to this day, this weapon is still very good, and it's for that one skill right there, decreasing their defense of the enemy by 80%. That, along with gaining 11% crit rate, is something that has made this weapon stand the test of time. Plus, the aesthetics of the weapon looks great. Always been a good one to have on one of your Kianas, and I still think that it is to this day. Now, if I was to go ahead and make any type of changes to this weapon pre-armed to make it even better, keep everything with the decreasing of the defense and the crit rate, but on the crit rate, I can't talk today, guys. On the crit rate, I would also add some crit damage as well. I think that would be a phenomenal addition to this weapon, and then also adding a damage reduction to yourself, or an SP, gaining SP for yourself and your allies on your team, the other Valkyries that you have on the team. I think that would be great. A little extra addition, so maybe add the damage reduction, keep the decreasing of their defense, or even if you want to go a different route, decrease their defense as well as eliminate their shield automatically. So when you do the weapon skill, it decreases their defense, but not only that, it eliminates their shield altogether. That would be such a great skill to use on bosses, Memorial Arena, and in Abyss. I think that would be fantastic. I think that would be such a great addition to this weapon to make it one that you would want to use all the time. And then, like I mentioned, keep the crit rate, but also add crit damage. I think that would really work out for this weapon. I think it would really bring this weapon back to prominence. I know it's still great. It still does what it needs to do. I just think it would put it over the top. The devs at MiHoYo can make the weapon look really incredible. Maybe have fire shooting out of those barrels when you're just sitting there, or every time you attack, some fire shoots out of the barrels, you know, like out of an exhaust of a vehicle. I don't know. I think that would be a great look to it. But this is one weapon I would love to see pre-armed, because it's good and everybody loves the Motionaire, even if you can't say the name. Alright, now moving on to the third and final pistol I would love to see pre-armed in the future, and that is the second Sacred Relic. I love the second Sacred Relic. I love all the Sacred Relics because their aesthetics, the way they look, have always been one that I've been fond of, and this one is no different. So I would love for this weapon to get pre-armed, especially for the aesthetic aspects, but also because it can do a little bit more, to be quite honest with you. I mean, accelerates attacks SP recovery by 23%. That is good. I don't think that's bad at all. I think they should keep that. Hits against enemies deal an additional 19 lightning damage. I think that could be better. Characters gain 6% crit damage for every 25 points of current SP. I think that's good, and it does stack, but also, you know, of course, the crit rate would be really useful here. The accelerates attack SP recovery by 23%. I think that would be good. Maybe add some HP recovery as well. I think that would be very beneficial. But I think one that would be extremely cool and maybe a little OP would be if you have a Valkyrie that has died or that is dead on your team, and you do the weapon skill. You can only activate it once, but it revives that Valkyrie that has died, and gives it maybe 50% health back. I think that would be really cool. It may be a little overpowered, but you just limit it to one time activating the weapon skill, and then every time you activate the weapon skill thereafter, it's just the SP recovery, and maybe throw in some damage reduction. You guys know how I like my damage reduction. Throw in some damage reduction, or if you activate the weapon skill, not just SP recovery, but actually recover your SP by like 75, just right off the jump. I think that would be really cool as well. I think it would make this weapon extremely valuable, extremely useful. I think that would be really, really cool. I think a lot of people would be using this weapon a lot more often. Guys, had a notification pop in, of course, while I'm recording, but what I was saying is that I think it would make this weapon one that people will gravitate towards to more often, and one that they would really opt in using when it comes to certain Valkyries. You know, of course, like your Divine Prayer, but just about any Kiana would benefit from a weapon skill or skills like that in general. So I would love to see that. I think that would be amazing. But let me know in the comments down below, like I mentioned earlier, what you guys think. Let me know which three you would like to see pre-armed. I was very close to adding the Energy Leapers. That could be an honorable mention. Love to see that one pre-armed. But we have some pistols that have been pre-armed already in the aspect of Tranquil Arius, as well as the hyper railguns, the Poistron blasters. So we already have a couple of pistols that have been pre-armed, so it may be a while before we get another one for them. But if they were, one of those three would be one that I would like to see in the very near future. The next one that we're going to talk about in the next video, I believe, is the Great Sword. So what I'm doing is just going off of how you guys voted in the polls that I did a couple of days ago, maybe about a week now ago, and I'm just going off of how the voting went there. So the pistol was next, and I believe the Great Sword would be there after, or maybe the Gauntlet. So I'm going to go ahead and continue the series. So the next one should be on the Great Swords. But other than that, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like what you saw today. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. It means a lot to me. Very close to 10,000 subscribers. I am extremely excited. I am hyped about what's going to be happening here very soon. Next week, we have the closed beta for Genshin Impact. That's going to be absolutely amazing. We have the 2-year anniversary coming up for Honkai here very soon for the global side. That is extremely hype. So there's a lot of good things where you would want to stay tuned into the channel, because I am going to be covering all of that here very, very soon. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out.